last week's problem. Yeah, remember this? We have density, volume, and then you are asked to compute the total mass of all of these components. So what you need to do is to you can compute them in array fashion. For example, density times volume plus density plus volume plus density plus volume on your one. Your paper, or you can also do this like that. But the practice in here is that you are asked to write this table in array or vector format. What it means by array or vector format. For example, the element of the density array is density propellant, steel, and then aluminum. Yeah. You see there's an arrow on top of the density word. What does the arrow mean? Yeah, it is a vector. Okay. The number that we are working in MATLAB is engineering. We have scalar, vector, and we have matrix. Yeah. For vector, you either put an arrow on top of it or you make it bold. Okay. So based on the table, the element of the density, propellant, steel, and aluminum is 1.2, 7.8, and 2.7. In MATLAB, we don't know MATLAB is not supposed to accept the unit. So the unit you keep it for your own calculation. Yeah. So the unit gram per 6 centimeter cubic is something that we have to work on our own. MATLAB will not report. Yeah. You also have the volume, same thing, make an array. And then you need to know also what's the formula to get the mass. Yeah. Common sense, mass is density times volume. As I said, if you want to do the computation in scalar format, this is what you do. Yeah. You can do this computation using MATLAB also. For example, 1.2 multiplied by 700 plus 7.8 times 200 plus 2.7 times 300. Then you can get the answer. However, what we want you to do using MATLAB is to express it in vector format computation. Okay. And yeah, some of you did that already in this work. So this is what we want you to do. You can use the dot product to get the same computation. Okay. The dot product here is denoted as dot. Okay. Or in vector computation, it is by using transpose product. Okay. This is transpose. So density transpose multiplied by volume. Do you know what we mean by transpose? Yeah. The column becomes row. Okay. So let us define what is dot product. Before coming to the MATLAB, this is the definition of dot product. Let's say we have vector P and R. These are the element of each of the vector. The dot product is this. Yeah, see each of the element of the two vectors you multiply and then plus the other element. That's the definition of dot product. What if we have n elements of the vector? This is only two elements, right? What if we have n elements? What do you do? Correct, yeah, until that one. So what you can do is either you do the transpose or the definition is just this one. Yeah. Simple representation is using a summation. Okay. So basically, when you do dot product in MATLAB, MATLAB will do this for you. Okay. The syntax for dot product in MATLAB is you use dot bracket. I think I show it. So you use the dot. What is the vector name that you created in the MATLAB? Yeah. That's the syntax. ingredients. You know that the things that we are doing, you have to know about factor first, because factor will come a lot in that. Okay. Let's say A is a scalar variable. Yeah. So we just express any kind of number in one element that's scalar variable. Okay. This is called factor in R2 when we are considering only real number, okay, two elements only. And this is a factor in R3, okay, three elements. We have three elements. You can also write it as this one. I think you are familiar with IJK factor. So what is IJK? You know what is IJK? Huh? Unit, what unit? Unit factor, yeah. So if you write down I in R3, let's say in R3, I is what? How do I write I? 100, correct. Okay, 1 is J, 0, 1, 0, yes. And the K, yeah, 0, 0, 1. So this is a factor and not scalar. Do you know how this one becomes this? It's alright. Anyone know how the 3i plus 2j plus 6k is the same to this? Anyone know? Do I need to write it down here? No? Okay. Tadi okay. If you don't understand, let me know. Yeah, it is recorded for us, but you know, this is for our review. So if you don't understand, just let me know. That's fine. So please use bold character or use arrow on top of the character. Yeah. If you write a factor. This applies also for all of the class, only in this class. And dynamic also in next semester. In MATLAB, we will not use complex number. Later on, or in semester 7 or 8, we will come across with a complex number. Okay. A vector is an array that, like we discussed earlier, yeah? This is a vector. But we can also represent a vector in a two-dimensional representation. And this is how we represent it using arrow. Okay. The arrow has two axes here. The x-axis in here and the y-axis in there, as we see here. Okay. The length in the x-axis corresponds to the first element in here, and the length in the y-axis corresponds to the second element. Okay. So this is a vector representation, and this is the factor itself. Okay. So let's say I have a vector that I put here, this vector, and if I measure the angle with the x-axis, I get theta. Okay, and the length of this vector, let's say 5. If I draw the same vector here, same line, also same theta, and the length is 5. Is it the same with this? Are they the same or are they different? What? You are not sure?
Yeah, same.
Same. So they only concern about the horizontal element and the vertical element. It doesn't matter where you put the vector, they are the same. If the elements are the same, they are the same vector. Okay. But if you put force in statics, if you put a force in a vector fashion like this, and then you move the force, that's different. Okay. You have to add a moment if you move the vector. same factor. Just if I write as 5 and then 2, 1, can I do it? Yeah. And this is how you get the unit factor out. Unit factor, you reach there already. What is unit factor? Yeah. We define the factor by the magnitude. So it means that you can represent a vector by multiplying the length of the vector and then the unit vector itself. It is okay. Okay. Smile is in fold. Fold smile. Still processing probably. What about this? Yeah, you do multiplication inside the vector. Can I do A times B like this? Correct, yeah. We cannot do 1 times 5 and then 2 times minus 3. We cannot do that. Okay. So what you can do is dot product and cross product. Okay. So when you have a vector and then someone write you A times B like this, then the dot cannot. Okay. You have to choose, is it dot product or cross product? Cross product you will find it when you are computing moment in statics. In moment you have to use cross product. You get it then? This moment is cross product. I'm not sure.
My face isn't like this.
Oh,
The IJ me, right?
Guys, close on.
Matrix, right?
okay. Now about vector norm. Now about the vector. If you have n elements of the vector, v1 up to vn. Okay. The vector norm that we discuss usually is the Euclidean norm. Yeah. So this is the square root of all element you square it and you add them up. Or you can also use it as multiplication of the transpose. Or the dot product of the vector that you take the square of. That's the norm. Yeah. Normally, if you find on the internet, it is also called as two norm. There are 3 kind of norms that people use. One norm, this is the two norm. One norm are rarely used. And the last one is infinity norm. It is also rarely used. We use only the two norm. When you use the two norm, get the unit vector, you use the two norm. Okay, let me write that. New faces come like this. Sometimes you don't say anything if you don't understand it. Sometimes it's like when someone is keeping your food, you don't say anything. When it is in the crowd, you are afraid to say something. It's like that. Like, I can feel the environment now. Okay. Let's say we have a vector b, which is b1 up to the bn. This one, if I want to get the unit vector of b, I use the notation like this. B, unit vector of b, this is equal to b divided by the norm of b. Okay. And then the property of unit vector is that the norm is 1. That's the property. That is 1. Right. So you can always represent a vector by what? magnitude multiplied by the unit vector. Yeah. Let us draw it graphically. Yeah. Graphically. What does it mean graphically? So if you have vector b like this, the unit vector with the length of 1, let's say it's over here. So I can represent the p by this vector, but then I multiply by the length of this. Let's say the length of p is 3. This is 1. So if I magnify the arrow 3 times, I get it here, right? So that's my vector. Okay? And you can get the good thing about this is that you can get the unit vector easily by just knowing the orientation. Let me tell you, if this is the Cartesian coordinate, x, y, then you have your vector like that, and this is theta. Theta is computed anti-clockwise from positive x. And then this is vector q. The unit vector of q is cosine theta sine theta. Easy. For any theta 0 up to 2 pi, we use that. That's the unit vector. Okay, let's continue. So as I said earlier, the norm is the length of the vector itself. Okay. So these are some properties I will give you the slides later to review. Then it is at least 0 or positive. It cannot be negative. The norm cannot be negative. As an example, if A is 1 and 2, what is the norm of A? Square root of 5. Any questions about it? Okay. Now you open your MATLAB, use M-file, compute all this file. Yeah, question? Sorry, this is Q. This is not R. This is Q. Okay, that's Q. Yeah. Is there anything that you cannot compute here? Number 5, do you know how to get the norm of a vector? Yes. Kalau itu karena power you use scalar. Guys, there are two ways of writing the vector in using MATLAB. The first way, you can write down this 9, 4. So you use semicolon, it will be column wise. If you want to use space, you can also do that 9, 4, -5 and 3, but then in the end you quote. Single quote is here, ya.
Kalau beda beda mana nggak boleh transfer. Nomor kontak. Ya, boleh.
It's P transpose times Q. So number 3, 4, 5, the result is scalar, yeah. 3, 4, 5 scalar. Number 1 and 2, the result is vector. What about number 1 first? Yeah. Number 3, yeah, scalar. No, not that. But you use P transpose multiplied by Q. For number 3, yeah, for number 3, let me write it down here. Let's say you have the P and Q already, yeah. For number 3, what you write down is P single quote and then asterisk Q.
So we don't need to do that.
No. Why? Although the result is the same. Yeah. Result is the same. Okay, let me ask you. If you are using MATLAB, you have a very long factor, 100 elements. You want to know whether the two factors are the same or not. What do you do? Huh? Huh? What do you do? You do it very fast. You want to know whether the elements of these elements, the elements of all elements. That is right. That's correct. You want to know whether they are the same or not, subtract them and then plot. You should have a flat line of 0. They're all the same. Or you can plot both factors at the same time. See if they are. No. None. What you do for number 5 is that you write down norm of -4 times b. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, in MATLAB, if you want to know the norm of the factor, let's say this, yeah, then what you write down is just that one, norm of b. Okay, positive, right? Yeah, you should also check that this norm, where is this one is equal to what? You know? Is it -4 times RP? No? Is it the same with what? Yeah. Because the -4 is inside the norm, yeah? You can take it out, but you have to take the absolute value of -4. So this computation will be the same with this. Any more issue? Everything clear? Clear? Everyone okay? Domenico? Done? Do you know why we don't train this in common window? In this session, we don't train this in common window. Do you know why? Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Easy modification on your command. Command window, you have to scroll up and down. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, let's continue. This one, plotting the result. Yeah, plotting. Okay. The focus of this is here. Yeah. All of this here is just the information. But the function that you want to plot is this one. K equal to K0 and blah blah blah. Yeah. So the answer is like that. Okay. Your function that you want to plot is here, line 9. And before you write down the line number 9, you have to what? Declare all of the variables needed. Yeah. The Q, K0, R, and be sure to remember to label the information. If you cannot put the variable name according to what it means, you can write down information like this. Yeah. So that after several times, several months, you work review, get a code, you know what they are. Yeah. The temperature in here, you are asked to vary it from 300 to 1000. And you can do it by using clean space. You can also use what? The column. You can use column. You know column? Column, not the Monday food, not the biscuit. Yeah? Not that one. It's 32 eh? We will review that. plot them in a single figure window, you can use the subplot. Okay, subplot, and then before you conclude, yes, I get the result. You check this equation. So even before you arrive at the plot, you have to know what is the expected behavior, how the k is going to look like when you vary the t. Yeah. MATLAB only compute what you give, okay? But you are the judge of your computation. This function, when t is small, what happened? T is small, then this value will be large, right? Okay. But this is negative, so if you keep lowering the t, then it will approach zero. Yeah. You say put the t 30, 20, 10 closing to zero, it will approach zero. Yeah. This value will approach zero. Meanwhile, if you keep increasing the t is large, it will approach zero. Yeah. This minus q will approach zero. So this interval of that one will approach 1. Okay. So the result is like this. Oh, it approached 10. Why? It should be approaching 1, right? Why approaching 10? Anyone remember?
KZ. It's coefficient.
Huh?
Coefficient.
What's the coefficient?
KZ.
K0. How about K0? K0 is 10, right? So that's what you can explain. Nothing wrong with the graph. Okay. And as you lower the t, it will go to 0. That's correct. Okay. So don't submit your work unless you do something like this. In any class, not just on MATLAB. Any class. If this is correct, then this should be correct also. Log, what is log 0? Log 0 is close to 1, right? Okay. You check. Familiar? Log 0 is close to 1, and that's log 10 is close to 2. Not log 10. It should be log 1 over t. 1 over t is you keep increasing the t. This 1 over t will be smaller. Okay. Now let us discuss its space and color. And how those are different. I'm not taking it from the textbook. And there is a reason for this. You can always find all function from MATLAB Central. Actually, we don't need the textbook. Actually, yeah. Use the textbook only to give you homework. But all materials you can find in the MATLAB. All examples you can learn from MATLAB Central. Okay. So in space, if you don't put the third element inside the bracket, then the number of data is 100. From, let's say, list space 0 to 1000. Only 100 data will be produced. Okay. If you use the third element there, then the n here, it will determine how many points generated. Okay. What about column? This one. J is the start value of your array. K is the end value of your array. What about I? Yeah, the increment of your array. What's so good about linspace is that you can directly determine how many points you want to have in the ruler. But you cannot directly specify the interval in the linspace. If you want to precisely define the interval in the array, you use the column. But you don't know you see, we cannot determine the increment nicely. Yeah? The increment is not nice, right? It doesn't look good. But if we want to specify the increment, what do you write? Let's say the increment that we want is 0.1. So use 5, 0.1, 5, okay. The increment will be 0.1. And how many elements are there? How many elements?
51.
51, correct. It's 51, yeah. Which is why if you are using a column like this, usually your number of elements, there is, the ending is always 1. Yeah. Let's say you want to plot varsity for this. Very simple, this is what you write. Okay? And when you plot, sorry. Very simple. Specifying number of points, if you want to set at 1000, what to do? You just use what? In space 1 and then 5. Sorry, 0, 10. 0, 10. Then 0, 10, 1000. How many data points? 1000 data points. What is the increment? You don't know. Yeah, for the column, it is a bit easier to guess the number of elements. But for the list space, sometimes it's a bit hard to get the increment. You try like that. Okay. You can try this on MATLAB. Generate an array from 0 to 10 with interval 0.01. So using column, what do you do? You are using column. Is equal to what? 0, 0.01. And okay, what about use list space? Generate the same exact array. What to do?
Then we
Space
0, and then
0, 10, how many? 1001. How do you get 1001 from here, right? It's from there. So you reverse the method. Which one is easier for you? Well, it depends. Yeah, it depends. Okay. Okay, now the next challenge. You have made the array T here, create a new array, the element of the first 30 element of T. How to do it? Can do it? Anyone know? Okay? You learned it already?
yeah.
Oh.
We collect the 1 colon 3.
Yes, that's correct. E bracket 1 30. That's correct. What if you want to get this one to be reversed? I want the 30th element to be the first element, and the first element to be the last one. Yeah, flip. Okay, yeah, that is a way to flip it. Flip LR. Flip left right LR. The neo flip is flip LR. It also goes with yeah. Yeah. So of course the exam I will not ask you about how to flip only. You will solve a problem. Probably those are needed probably. Okay, now I want to ask you what's the meaning of this line? What is actually happening? What array? Yeah, what happened? What happened? What is actually
Fifth
happening?
array. If you can see elements as but which value is 5%.
Okay, yeah. So the first array that you create is the D. That's the first array. And then what happened next is that you have the sign D first. What happened with the sign D? Let's say your D is 0, 0.01, 1, 10. And then your sign D is 0 up to sign 10. First thing you have to think about is that this is the first thing that MATLAB do. After you have the array, MATLAB multiply it with a scalar 5. That's what happened. So step by step, that's the MATLAB. So this is a vector. This is a vector of array that you have to treat. You have to treat them like this. The same thing as you treat the vector. This array. So which is why you will find the element-wise operation. Yeah. If you want to do sine square of t, what do you do in MATLAB? In MATLAB, what you do? Yeah, sine t, you can just do dot and then square root of 2 like this, yeah. So this is called what? Element-wise operation, not dot product. Okay? Dot product of this will be what? If it is dot product, of course you do dot of sine t comma sine t, and the result is scalar, not vector. But if you do this, the result is a vector. Okay. So what happened with sine sine t dot square? What you have is sine square 0, sine square is all the way up to here. Okay. this example, is F an array? Yes. Can we compute this? No, that's wrong.
What has to be?
You have to put the dot. This one you can. This one you can do, but what happened is like this. Yeah? This is what happened. Element mass computation. And now you know what's the difference? Yeah. Okay. Sometimes you need element wise operation. In other case, you need dot product. What? Because I
First question.
Yeah. No, you are smiling. What was this?
No, because he said like sometimes you need energy drink.
What's what?
No, I mean like sometimes you need time and wise operation, sometimes you need the product, sometimes you need energy drink.
DJ?
Kind of. Kind of.
Energy break.
Kayak
Oh, I see. Okay. You are drinking that nowadays?
Not really.
Not really. Yeah. You see the last two here they are the same, yeah. The result are the same. There is one more operation that will be the same with this. What can be done? Same kind of operation. Using MATLAB. Come on. Dot F comma F, F transpose F. There's one more thing that's the same. Use NOR. Use the NOR. Correct. NOR square. That's the result. Same result. Okay. Homework 1, due next Thursday. A1 and A2, which I also post here, yeah. So the function that you will learn is find length and max. You learn on that on your own, and then we discuss. Yeah, the idea is that you learn the function while you are doing the problem. That's the best way of learning MATLAB. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye. Yeah, I will give you this amount. Yeah, I will give you that amount so you get the problem. Meanwhile, for the function, go to the MATLAB center. Yeah, yeah, you do it again. Yes. You forget, right? Some of the code.
What not composition?
Kita pernah kerjain kerjain dulu lah.
Dan nomor 1 belum. Belum. Oke, sama aja lah sih.
Belum
satu bulan.
belum Gak ada kainnya.
Tidak.
Oh iya.